Hey there everybody, my name's Nathan Elson, and today I'm going to take you behind the scenes where I used one large window to create 3 different looks using nothing but natural light. So with that being said, let's just get into it. Alright, so here we are with the first setup, and as you can see, I've got the model placed against this dark backdrop, and then I've got this white sheer fabric draped over top of her, and she's wearing a white sheer dress. Now, the reason I'm shooting against the dark background is I just wanted that white to pop. I wanted to create a little bit of separation so that you can see the texture in that fabric that's draped across her body. Now, in terms of placing the model in relation to the light, as you can see, I've got her about 5 feet away from these giant windows, and I'm just letting that light feather across her face and her body. Now, this is something that I do with all of my studio lighting, which is that I place my subject to the back of the modifier, and then I let that light feather across their face and body. It just creates this really beautiful transition from your highlights to your shadows. And having these giant windows, it's just like having a giant softbox, and all I'm doing is letting that light travel from one side of her body to the other in a very flattering way. And without any reflectors or anything like that, these are what some of these images end up looking like. And now, using the exact same setup but just changing it up a little bit, I got the model to stand, and then I brought in this giant fan. Now, all the fan is doing is blowing the fabric against the model's body, making it a little bit easier to see through this sheer fabric, as well as just creating a little bit of motion to the fabric. It's not draping straight down, it's got a little bit of a push to it. It's nothing overly dramatic, but it does change the overall look of the final images. And then I positioned her so that she was facing more towards the window itself. And this it increases the catch lights in the eyes, it lessens the contrast that's happening on the face and body, and just kind of overall gives a little bit more of a clean feel. But when you do that and you put all of this together, well, this is what these images end up looking like. All right, now real quick, before we get into the second setup, I want to talk to you about today's sponsor, which is Milanote. Now, Milanote is an app that I've been using for about the last 6 months, and it's just become indispensable in the production of my photo shoots. So I'm going to walk you through it real quick. I'm going to show you why I love it, how I use it, and why I think every photographer who produces any type of shoot should be looking at this in order to make sure everything stays organized, on track, and everyone is on the same page. So let's jump in real quick. I'll walk you through it. All right, so here we are in Milanote, and this is a template that I use constantly. Now, there's a ton of different templates that you can use, but this is one that I find has worked best for what it is that I need to divulge to the rest of the crew to make sure everyone's on the same page come shoot day. Now, I've got, my project tab here just stating, this is the project that we're shooting and has me as the key contact. Then I've got the location that we're shooting and any pertinent information to get into that location, as well as a link directly to the studio that anyone can click on, and it will open up a Google map or an Apple map and take them to that location. Now, I also have an equipment checklist here, and this is for me. So when I'm loading up the vehicle and I'm going to location, I can go through here and I can click on everything, make sure that it's in the car. I'm not going to show up and find out that, I forgot that, I missed it. This just keeps me organized. One of the other big things that I love about this template is that you can put boards within boards. And I use mood boards a ton, like most photographers do when they're trying to explain to different clients what it is that their vision might be. So if you double click on the mood board here, you can pull up either individual images that you can scroll through, or you can just view it as a whole on its own. But I want to show you how easy it is to use Milanote and to make something that just looks insanely professional and clean in a matter of seconds and or minutes. So I'm just going to delete all of these images here. And what this is going to do is it's going to empty the board. So it's going to give me the option to choose different templates. So you can come through, you can do a photography mood board, maybe a photo shoot plan, a brief, a shot list, different things like that. You get the idea, but I'm not going to use any of these templates. All I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Explorer, and I'm going to just drag and drop all of these mood board images that I have onto the Milanote template here. So as soon as I drag and drop that, it automatically builds the mood board, keeps it super clean, looks professional right off the bat. If you want to move anything, say we wanted to change the layout of these two, everything is drag and drop. You can literally just kind of put it wherever you want to. And if you want to add anything into any of these boards, say you wanted to add a comment, and you just grab it, pull it down. This is a comment, And then you can actually have a conversation with anyone that you've shared this board with. So, you know, it's a really easy way just to kind of like talk about what works, what doesn't, what you want to do. You can go through, you can mark up things, you can draw, say, you know what, I don't want to do this one or this one. And then as soon as they have that, you just click save and that shows up on there. If you want to delete any of this, you just select it, hit delete, and it disappears. It's such an insanely intuitive and easy way to build production forms for the rest of your crew. This is just, it's become indispensable to my photography practice and making sure that me, my crew, my models, everybody are all on the same page. Everything is organized, everything is ready to go. Can't recommend it enough. Go check out Millinote. It's awesome. Link in the description. All right, now for this second setup, all we did was roll out this 9-foot wide black seamless paper onto the ground, and then I layered white fabric over top of the model because I really wanted this super contrasty black and white image. Now, the one thing that I did do differently was the positioning of the model to the natural light coming through the window. Now, I wanted to enhance her jawline and just create a lot of texture in the fabric that was draped across her body. So the way we did that was that we positioned it so that the top of her head was facing towards the window. Now, by doing that, you're essentially just taking what would normally be a lighting modifier that you would place over top in order to bring out that jawline, and you're just using the window as a large lighting modifier. And that's the one thing when people are shooting natural light is you just have to think, where's the light coming from and what shape do I want it to make? So by placing her head towards the window, I'm getting this beautiful texture in the fabric. I'm getting this great jawline and different highlights that are happening on her body. And then from there, I have this little platform type ladder that I used so I could essentially put it over top of her body, get up high, and then shoot down over top of her with my 50mm lens. And when you put all that together, again, this is what it ends up looking like. All right, now for this last setup, I just really wanted to create something with some motion. I wanted to put that fabric into use just to create just sort of like an ethereal feel to the images. So I put her up against a white wall with a black dress on and black fabric, and then we brought in this little fake white staircase just to elevate her from the gray floor so that everything really fell into a black on white scenario. Then we brought in that giant fan again, and I just put it on full blast and let it carry the fabric everywhere. Now I've got her facing towards the window again, and I'm letting that light feather across the entire scene just to give a really beautiful kind of sense of kind of light meets dark for these final images. And again, not an overly complicated setup. There's literally no other modifiers in use outside of the giant windows that are in this studio. And when you put all of these things together for the final time, well, this is what it ends up looking like. And so there you have it. That's 3 super easy ways to create 3 different looks using nothing but natural light from some giant windows. If you have access to any type of natural light, you can create these types of images. So with that, I mean, that's all I've got for you in this one. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.